what's the next move for you?
Well, I got a dispensary we're going to open up called Bud Labs. And you know, the
Nice.
dispensary business is getting tougher and tougher.
It is.
Like, tell me about that. Do you find that you're making money off your selling your shelf space?
We're doing all right.
Yeah?
You know, I gotta say, you know, I think a lot of people in the beginning thought we would probably just funnel everybody in to sell our brands to them, but
Right.
we found that, you know,
Well, you got to have an assortment. You got to have everybody's.
yeah,
The best of everybody.
Yeah, we found having the best of everybody's is key. So, you know, a lot of it goes quickly, and it's been great, you know, because you know, people in the beginning would complain about pricing and stuff like that, but when you go to one of the rogue shops and get some unclean shit that doesn't taste like it's supposed to, and then you come
They're full of myclobutrazole that's going to fucking, you know, turn to hydrogen cyanide when you heat up and smoke it.
Right.
No, that's not for me.
It's not for me. And then you come to us where all our shit has to be compliant and all our shit is quality.
And it costs more money to do that. So, folks, you're paying for safety.
You get what you pay for.
But you want to know what's happening? A lot of people are bitching about the black market, which it should be closed down. You know, and there should be something done about that.
Yeah.
And then the high taxation, and it is taxed high. But you know, those two things alone aren't really what's sucking the profits out.
No, there's a few things.
It's these big companies, these guys here who got a lot of money. They're going negative for everything. They're going negative to acquire a client. And the fucking crazy thing is they don't even know the lifetime value of this client is yet.
Right.
And so, anyways, they're going negative to acquire them, and they're going deeper and deeper to get market share. And what happens? The guys with 10 million, 20 million, 30, 40 million. Are going to burn through their cash, and the only guys that are going to be left standing are these big guys that have gone negative, and then they're going to beat the shit out of each other, and there's going to be a number one and there's going to be a number two. That is what is happening, and like money's coming in, and they're playing hardball.
Oh yeah, and
but you can use them to your advantage, by the way, by selling shelf space and other things, right?
That is the truth.
Make them pay that way.
You make them pay that way
because you're a big name. They're going to want you in there. So you can really make one hell of a deal, push them hard for them to pay you for the shelf space.
Right.
So check this out. Right now, I can make all my own shit. It costs me more to make my own stuff than going out to vendors and negotiating with vendors because they're willing to go negative to acquire clients.
Right.
And if the smart money goes, use those, take that margin, keep it, and you'll be standing after the fight.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be strategic these days in this game because I mean there was a wave of people that came into the game, and some of them are definitely on the negative right now. And
most all are.
Yeah. You know, unless
dispensaries are making money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but still, it's still you know, one of those as you're venturing through it right now. When the taxation's high and all the new regulations are coming and they're changing them, constantly changing them, you got to be able to live through that before the cool shit happens.
And guys with dispensaries will be. We're not gonna get rich off of dispensaries.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. Not right now.
Not right now.
3 years, 5 years from now, different ball game.
Yeah.
Way different ball game.
But I see, you know what? I see the taxes coming down. I see those things coming down because
they have to. They're taxing every fucking step of the way.
Well, yeah,
every step of the way.
But here's my theory.
Yep.
And you may be able to grasp this. I know you will.
We're high as shit right now.
Yes,
we'll try.
We are high, but I know you will. My theory is this, right? The taxation and all these new regulations are high so that they can wash out a number of people
100%.
and make way for the corporate dollar that's coming in the next 3 to 4 years, who will lobby to bring these taxes down to something that's more suitable for them because it's the margin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 40% tax on the product or whatever it is.
You're 100% correct on that.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I see that happening. So if you could live, you know, in the industry that long to see when they start finally coming in and they lobby to bring those taxes down, you're doing all right after that. But it's the fight to live till then.
You get the game.
Yeah.
100%. That's what it is.
Yeah.
For anyone getting into this industry now.
This was a very informative Smokebox, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've learned so much. Soaking up a lot of
You
games.
can't have Big Mike in here with. Hey, what's the craziest party you threw? Because you were throwing some pretty crazy ass
Fuck,
parties.
the craziest party I threw was a Halloween party, not this year, but last year. And I wanted to go till, I usually go till 11, but I went till midnight. And the cops came up and raided the place at a little.
That was on the news, right?
Yeah, fucking 45 minutes. That was the one before that when I had to shut the whole Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
45 minutes before I was going to close up anyways, right? They came in force, and they had the SWAT team with them too. Not the full team, but some of them.
That's
It's
crazy.
nuts. They walk in there and they find out there was more millionaires, and there was at least a dozen billionaires there at that party. A lot of marijuana millionaires out there, right?
Right.
And just normal, and just good people. And they kind of walked in, and they kind of looked around, and they went, "Okay, we got to be nicer here."
Yeah.
And they very gently, everybody was out. But you know what? Very few people talk about the fact that the cops came, the helicopters, and all this nonsense. They said it was one of the best parties that they've ever been to in their life.
That's what I heard from
Yeah.
people. That's what I heard from people. You planning on throwing any other parties?
You know, I had 4th of July planned, and here's what the fuck happened. So, you know where they shot this house where the Bachelor was?
Yeah.
I'd got that house, got to rent it for the month, gave the guy a lot of money, and we're going to have a 4th of July party there. And remember those heavy rains that we got?
Yeah. Fucked it all up.
No, the fucking roof of that house collapsed.
Oh, shit.
No,
Damn.
that was bad because it was a terrace. Imagine it had 200-300 people on there jumping to the music.
Oh, that would've
that
been
thing
fun.
would have. No, it was a godsend.
It was a
I saved-
godsend,
It
dude.
saved so many
Totally.
like people who got hurt and harmed and shit. So hey, there's a silver lining that we got. And now because of the fires and all this, there's nothing available down in Malibu.
Yeah.
Like the guys, everyone got burned out of the house, rented houses down there.
So you're just gonna
And-
hold up for a second?
You know, there's nothing. I can't do it.
Yeah. But I'm sure.
And I tried like hell. But
I'm
there's
sure,
one coming.
I'm sure there's one coming from you, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Because look, I know, I see the path. We always keep in communication from time to time.
Hey,
and-
parties are great, man.
I gotta
Everybody
go
likes
to
a
one.
great one.
I keep missing them every time you throw one. I'm out of town or something.
I love to see I follow you, right?
I'll
and
come
so,
down there.
and I see, like, when you go all in Europe and stuff, and you guys are in front of all those audiences, and then, you turn around with your back to the audience, you face the camera.
Yeah.
I love those pics. Those are dope.
Those
I
are
do. I
cool,
like them a
man.
lot.
Fortunately, Instagram allows, well, they don't allow it, but I'm saying
No.
the platform
No.
to be able to show something like that.
Yeah.
That's cool as fuck.
Right, right.
Facebook,
yeah.
all of them, And you've become a part of the Instagram culture. You
Oh,
fully
dude.
embrace
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit.
I do. Listen, like it or not, you have a business.
Right.
You have to have a social media presence.
Preach.
And in fact, I get interviews because
Because of
I
it.
have 2.8, 2.9 million followers, whatever. And the next guy that might be even more qualified for, let's say, it's some business
Right.
topic, and he has 100,000 followers or 200,000. No, they're bringing me on, and it's like that with everything. People always quote. Every time we get an interview, they always quote those Instagram numbers first.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they look at that, man. I think record
They do.
companies, when they look for artists nowadays, they say, okay, what's your Instagram account? And then they look and see what that's like, and base that whether your music's good or not.
Yeah.
They want to see if you already got a following jumping off.
Yeah.
And it's very much like
Hey,
that.
what do you think about artists coming up now? Like with just using their own social media and doing their own thing and then booking their own tours and concerts? How much of that stuff's going on these days? Really going on?
I think a lot of it, because they don't want the middleman. And some people
Right.
have to do it without the middleman. Even if you want it, you sort of kind of got to build your base.
In your days,
for them to-
you had to use the middleman.
Well, yes, you did.
Yeah, because
And-
there wasn't any internet and social media and this kind of stuff.
And for the middleman to fuck with you, someone had to have said, "Hey, these guys right here are the next guys. You guys should check them out." In order for the middleman to even fuck with you, because you got to think about it like this: the middleman is just a big ass bank.
They are. That's what artists don't realize.
They don't realize,
If they
yeah.
put up
With a
$400,000
high-ass-
or $1 million, you're paying that back to the guy. It's a loan.
With a
Oh,
huge
yeah.
interest.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You get
Oh,
the
yeah.
very low end of it, but what you get in that, I mean, you could still get paid. They're getting the lion's share,
Yep.
obviously, but
Oh, you still make a lot.
What that does is that with their resources, if they work you right and you give them the right product and you're willing to work, it allows you to use that network and their resources to put your name out there and your music out there so that you could catch a spark.
Yeah.
And if you catch that spark and you roll with that momentum, you got a career.
You know, I got this show called Business Outlaws. I do it with Chris Collins. He's a real great friend of mine, known him for over a decade. I want to get you on that show. Because I had Shea Pope on there, and he talked, and I had Dane Dash in there. Craziest interview.
Oh yeah.
Other guys just like off the hook, crazy.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, and I talked about the record. Dane was preaching, you don't need any producer, you don't need any, all this. And then Shea Pope had a different take on it.
Right.
He said, look, I'm going to put up the money, and you're going to pay me back like you normally do. But here's what I'm going to do. Based on how good you do, I'm going to give you 5 to 12% equity in that brand, and that is where the money's at. If you're willing to go long term, I thought that was a pretty good deal, better than most that are out there.
Well, and it also gives you the incentive, like, fuck, I get paid on this like this, so I got to work this, because you could just try to sit on your hands and let it work itself, but you don't get paid that way. You have to go work that shit.
So if you had, I'm kind of interviewing you now, if you had to go right now and start all over again, which model of that would you use? The old model, the middle model, or just the social media platform, and I'm just going to put it out there, I'm going to do my own thing and book my own shit, I'm going to be my own, in charge of my own destiny?
Well, shit, if we had a combination of both, what we had, in working with Sony Music, throughout our career, their resources, along with these new platforms like the social medias and stuff like that. I mean,
you want equity in their horsepower.
Yeah, and if you could get equity, which realistically, you'd have to rework your deal. But as an artist, that's kind of hard to do. But in a never so perfect world, but close, right? You'd want the big guns of that middleman, and their resources, along with the platforms that you might build up, and their marketing team and strategy to go along with that. You could have a big impact this way.
Absolutely.
I think that's why pop stars do so well at this point, because their music is obviously on the pop level, which reaches out to everybody, right? Yeah. But you also have the resources of the machine pushing that brand out there on all these different things like TVs, movies, commercials, whatever.
There's a plethora of different channels for advertising.
But they also have now this way for that artist to interact, with their fans if they choose to, through
even the virtual reality and the advertising that they do on those games now and stuff. That's just like another level, man.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys know about that shit?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I play video games.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, it's tech is.
I thought about doing that. I haven't done that yet. I was going to integrate some of my brands into the
tech keeps
evolving. Have a little grow room. People want to start growing. They can make money selling pounds.
VR camera, the grow room, make them feel like they're in there working with you. You know what I mean? We thought about putting one in here so that they're in the middle seat, in between the smoke, so they can look around. And, we're still toying with the deal. But hey, man, I want to thank you for taking the time
to
jump in the box finally.
Hey.
Fucking A, man.
It's good. Glad to be here, and I'm glad I got to be with you and talk. I've been wanting to come on this show for a long time, and I'm going to get you on the Business Outlaw show.
Hell yeah. Let them know where they can find you.
Oh, you can go, you can look up Business Outlaws if you want business stuff, and if you want to follow me, it's just Big Mike, at a Big Mike.
That's right, Big Mike, Advanced Nutrients, you know what I'm saying? If you're getting your cultivation game up,
hang on.
You need nutrients, look up.
And blends.
Advanced.
Big Mike's blends, look for these dispensaries everywhere in California.
That's right.
All right.
It's been another Smokebox.
Yep.
Fuck with my guy right here.
All
Subscribe to the channel, leave comments, keep blazing.
Got the heart of a lion, soul of a titan, mind of a genius, fly with the height. All your senses is senseless, resistant, relentless. It's what they call you when your grind is endless. Let's get this.
They say I'm psycho, I move weight like lipo. Got a big crib like Michael, out the window with a rifle. My wrist game on light show. I'm backstage with white hoes. I got pre